The story of country music, America's music, is as varied and fascinating as the history of the nation itself. Like America, country incorporates styles and influences from all over the world and is many different things to different people. New arrivals to America brought their oral traditions, rhythms, and instruments with them, creating new musical forms. The banjo from Africa, the violin, soon to be known as the fiddle, from Europe, the dulcimer, tin whistle, tenor guitar, accordion, and even bagpipes from the hills of Scotland were soon put to use, creating new and uniquely American music. Jazz, blues, and gospel music spread like wildfire along the waterways and railroads, pushing ever deeper into the American continent. In the isolated mountain pockets of the South, another new music began to take hold. First called hillbilly music, it was country music for and by country people. Gospel, blues, and ancestral melodies combined to form a truly unique and American music style. Hillbilly music, later dubbed bluegrass by the great country fiddler Bill Monroe, spread and grew richer and more varied. Hoedowns and barn dances were the order of the day, with great fiddlers like Eck Richardson leading the way. The advent of radio soon carried the music into the homes of millions. WSB in Atlanta was the first to broadcast country music in 1922. Other stations climbed on the bandwagon. WPAB in Fort Worth started the first barn dance, followed by WLS in Chicago with its national barn dance. WLS was led by the legendary George D. Hay, who was soon hired by WSM in Nashville, where he created the WSM Barn Dance, renamed the Grand Ole Opry in 1927. Country stars like the Skillet Lickers and the Blue Yodeler Jimmy Rogers filled the airwaves with country music. Bob Wills formed the Light Crust Doughboys, and a singer named Len Skye, later known as Roy Rogers, helped to form the Sons of the Pioneers. The Carter family were early pioneers who helped to shape the sound of country into what it is today. Hailing from the hollows of Appalachia, their playing, harmonies, and amazing collection of songs made them the most popular of the family groups playing the barn dances and jamborees. With the movie industry booming, film producers began experimenting with a variation of the ever-popular Western. In 1934, Gene Autry, already an established recording star, became the prototype singing cowboy when he landed a part in the Ken Maynard picture In Old Santa Fe. Autry went on to star in dozens of films, and his success produced many imitators, including Tex Ritter, Jimmy Wakely, and Rex Allen. But the only one to match or even come close to Autry was Roy Rogers.
Boots, boots, pick 'em up and lay 'em down. Boots, boots, marching into town. Hold your pretty chin up and keep on hiking, sister, 'cause your little tootsies are a-heading for a blister. I've learned a lot about women. If women are all like you, I'll take the army. If women are all like you.
Capitalizing on America's romantic vision of the Wild West, singing cowboy westerns only increased country music's popularity. The 30s saw an explosion of country music. Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys embodied Texas swing, and Patsy Montana became the first female country star to have a million-selling record, I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart. Roy Acuff and his Smoky Mountain Boys joined the Opry in 1938, and a year later, NBC Radio began to broadcast the show to a national audience. In 1941, the Grand Ole Opry moved to its new home at the Ryman Theater in Nashville.
It's just a huge auditorium, but your voice sounds really good to you, and your instrument sounds really good to you, and I think it's the right amount of echo. In other words, it's not that it's not boomy, but it's a real nice reinforcement of your voice or your instrument. Whoever built it probably didn't realize that they built it for a church. Maybe they did know, I don't know. But the sound is just wonderful.
In February 1943, Ernest Tubb joined the regular Autry cast and remained one of its major stars for the next 39 years. The first performer to use electric and steel guitars at the Opry, Tubb is credited more than any other artist for creating the honky-tonk style of country music still popular today. One of the industry's most generous performers, Tubb regularly showcased upcoming talent on his Midnight Jamboree show, broadcast live from his record store on Broadway in Nashville. During the 40s, singers of contemporary music began to experiment with country. Bing Crosby enjoyed several hits such as New San Antonio Rose and You Are My Sunshine. Thanks to artists like Crosby, country music crossed over into the mainstream. In 1946, RCA Victor opened the first recording studio in Nashville, the legendary Studio B, and a new singer arrived in town who was about to change the face of country music forever. Hank Williams was the first country singer and songwriter who consistently crossed over to the pop music audience. His crooning, note-bending voice and his great songwriting, combined with good looks and an easy stage presence, made Williams a star overnight. Lovesick Blues, released in February 1949, spent 16 weeks at the top of the charts. Williams sang the song during his debut at the Grand Ole Opry, where he received an unprecedented 6 encores. A string of hits followed, including You're Gonna Change or I'm Gonna Leave, Why Don't You Love Me, and Cold, Cold Heart. Singing from his heart, Williams drew on his own demons to create music that spoke to a new generation of country fans. What everyone didn't know was that Williams was privately suffering most of what he sang about so convincingly. On New Year's Day, 1953, Hank Williams died from the combined effects of alcohol and a drug overdose. His untimely death foreshadowed a string of tragedies in the world of country music, just as his music would inspire generations of artists to come. Just 29 years old, his meteoric career had changed the course of country music forever.